Welcome to Dare, the show for startup leaders, innovators, and entrepreneurs who dare to shape the future. Dare is brought to you by the Oregon Entrepreneurs Network, OEN, and Darwaft, the superpower tech team that can make your vision a reality. The Dare Show is excited to welcome Harry Herzberg to the show. He's a programmer and accessibility advocate who lives in Corvallis. He created Transcribbit, which is an innovative classroom tool inspired by his own experience of navigating school with muscular dystrophy. So Transcribbit makes learning more inclusive. It offers live transcription, translation, and all sorts of tools that support students and help them stay engaged. So thanks for being with us, Harry.
Great to be here, Ned.
Well, tell us more about how you came to develop this tool.
So I was in college and was really struggling with focus and asking questions in class.
Mhm.
And then COVID hit and we all switched to online learning. And I made Dean's List my first semester because COVID kind of gave us superpowers. We could pause the lecture whenever we wanted, go back, take notes, turn on subtitles, all that fun stuff.
It
And
kind of leveled the playing field, it sounds like.
oh yeah, it gave disability accommodations to everyone, even those who didn't have a formal diagnosis.
Hmm.
And though there was a bunch of horrible stuff about COVID and the social isolation and stuff like that, the tools that it gave us in classes, I want to bring to in-person classes.
Wow. So let's back up for a second. Before COVID, your experience in school wasn't that great. And because the school was structured and what was accessible to people who didn't have to struggle with anything. And since you had some impediments in your way, the school wasn't set up for your success. And so when the playing field was leveled, you were able to be just as successful as everybody else, right?
And I would say, like, partially, like, obviously, there's a bunch of good people working in
Mhm.
special education to help students with disabilities, to help people like myself. But my gripe with it was so I struggle to focus. The types of accommodations I get might not match. It might take a while for me to get any accommodations. I mean, the IEP process takes up to 4 months.
Wow. Wait, 4 months. So you could be in class and you're 4 months in and finally you're able to get the kind of assistance that you need.
Yeah, that's just kicking it off. But with students like me, my mom was a great help. She was able to advocate for me. And so when I was very young, I got a little bit of support, but that doesn't happen to everyone, which really speaks for a baseline level of accommodation so no one slips through the cracks.
Interesting. Okay. So then you saw this change happen for you and for other people who were in your same situation. And what did you do with that knowledge?
Well, I was like, something needs to be done. I'm gonna make Transcribbit. So it started just with a small idea. What if I could I struggled with a few things. One was focus. So what if I could mentally nudge myself to focus when the
Mm.
teacher says something important? I mean, again, it all goes into the fact that if you have ADHD or a formal diagnosis and you miss something, it's the same end result as if you just went to the bathroom or you stared at the window and you missed something,
Ah,
right? So I made something that would just randomly vibrate my phone every few minutes. And that was kind of like a give me a mental reset, right? A little
mhm.
check in. Am I focusing? Am I on track? Am I making something important? And it just kind of grew from there.
Fascinating. And so growing from there, like what can you do today with Transcribit? It sounds like it has a lot of different capabilities, huh?
Oh, yeah. So we start with the teacher. And the reason we start with the teacher, transcribing something isn't a new technology,
Hmm.
but as someone who used transcription accommodations from my muscular dystrophy, my handwriting you do not want to see, it's made it so that I've seen like a lot of the issues and flaws. And one of them was I'm walking into a classroom, I'm sitting wherever I sit, say 20 feet away from the teacher, opening up my computer, where's the microphone pointing?
Right.
So we start transcribing at the teacher's side, and that
Uh,
allows us to send it to every single student. So, one, we get the highest quality transcription by design. Two, we're not transcribing the teacher multiple times with different transcription apps. We're sending it to every single student, so it's a cost saving. And three, we can do a whole bunch of things back and forth with the teachers and the students, like a discrete way of communicating with your paraeducator, which is an in-classroom assistant, which wouldn't be othering, right? Like if you have a
Right, right.
disability.
So it doesn't interrupt everybody else, but allows you to get the assistance you need kind of on the side, like a coach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And other than that, like allowing teachers to determine and help students recognize these important moments in class, allowing students to ask questions when they might have anxiety, or for me, muscular dystrophy, where I can't really raise my hand above my head,
Yeah.
and allowing students to kind of take notes and view on their own transcription in their own lecture, or even translate it into a language that they might be more comfortable with.
Got it. So this app sounds super, super helpful to people. What's the reception been like so far?
So we started some small scale testing at Oregon State University in my classes back when I was a student. And through that, we've refined the product to get where we are right now. We've realized can't just be an Android app, has to be available on every single computer. Then from there, we've done some small scale pilot at University of Portland, and we have upcoming pilots at Lynn Benton Community College, and a full on research study at Texas A&M.
Hmm.
And we're actively looking for more people to use the app, because apps like these shine the best with people using them and getting good feedback on them. I'm not pretending to know that we have everything figured out. That's why I want people and students and teachers to use it.
Fantastic. So how many people are using it today, or kind of do you have it in studies, or it's it in people's hands?
So the study is upcoming in the fall with Texas A&M University,
Okay.
and this summer with Lynn Benton Community College. We're also talking with West Albany High School to get into a few students and teachers' hands there.
Fantastic. Yeah. So this is a way of vetting it with real academic scholars and with the Texas A&M study so that you can raise the bar on the kind of tools that are available to people, right? Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So say that it flies through those studies and we talk again in a couple years. What's your vision for where this app is going to go?
Well, I kind of already dug a little bit into the problem, right? Where it's baseline level for accommodation is needed. It costs a lot for schools to provide these accommodations, and it takes up to 4 months to determine if a student, what type of accommodations a student has. Well, there's a huge drop off in funding of support for people with disabilities. You get through high school, and then you get to like around 21, and then there's a huge drop off. And then you graduate college, and then there's another huge drop off. So there's not going to be a paraeducator with you in your workplace, even if
Right.
you needed one to pass through high school.
Mhm.
So in the future, this pie in the sky is a paraeducator in your pocket, something that can help you and assist you day to day with recognizing these important moments,
Mhm.
with being able to ask questions and communicate, especially for people who have autism or have ADHD, who it might be more difficult for.
Wow. This is really fantastic. So technology has been really, really helpful here in giving people tools that were not previously accessible that way. So do you see yourself as CEO of a company who would deliver these kinds of tools, or do you see yourself more as a developer, or where would you like to go with your career?
I see myself as CEO of a company who delivers these tools. I've had a computer in class since I was in elementary school, and it's always been kind of a othering thing. Why does Harry get the computer? And the thing
Yeah.
is, I couldn't say, like, oh, yeah, I should get this computer and you shouldn't get this computer, because I was like, why am I the only one who has a computer?
Yeah.
Well, it's because computers are expensive.
Right. Oh, I know. The idea that equity and equality and justice are not always the same thing, that if you have people who are equal, they all get the same thing. But if you're actually building equity, you're giving people a little boost up so they can take a step forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the thing where it's like, if I lose focus for a minute, it could be that I have ADHD, or it could be that I got bad sleep last night, right?
Mhm.
I had a bad few weeks, right? The thing is, it doesn't really matter. There should be like, you shouldn't be punished for losing focus for a few minutes in a 2 hour long class. or a 2 hour long meeting for that sake.
Yeah. Great. Well, so you're planning on this Texas A&M study, and then we'll see what comes out of that, right?
Yeah, and it's not just a we'll see what comes out of that because we're
Yeah.
planning on taking feedback from all of our pilots, all of the
Mhm.
students and teachers using it, and trying to get something that can continue to grow, right? Why not only help students? Why not help teachers realize where students are confused in their lecture if we're able to have students ask questions, stuff like that.
Fantastic. So you must have more than just you working on this. Do you have a team of people who are working alongside you, or what does your team look like?
Yes, we do. So there's me. And while I am a programmer by education, I
Hmm.
am the most social on the team. So this is kind of my role in the team. Obviously, in our team meetings, sometimes we'll get into the nitty gritty of programming and I'll have some
Yeah.
opinions or I'll be proven wrong. We also have someone who is in charge of our backend,
Hmm.
as well as someone who is in charge of our front end, Artemis Kearney, and someone who is our CTO in charge of our research. And then, of course, a wonderful group of adjacent people who are mentoring, helping, advising. We have a board of 3 special education teachers and professionals who are kind of like our special ed, like people, consultants that we talk to make sure that we're building it towards something that they want and helps with the students under their care.
Yeah. Great. So you have a whole team around you. Yeah. So I know that we met because of the startup ecosystem here in Oregon. And, OEN does statewide events. So does the Technology Association of Oregon, TAO. So what's your experience been like in connecting with people in the startup ecosystem here in Oregon?
Everyone's so friendly. Though my only complaint is I wish there were more events because
Yeah.
I'd love to network, talk to people, get advice, and see what other cool stuff is being worked on.
Yeah. Well, what have you seen out there that makes you feel excited?
Just personally, in terms of like cool stuff that I nerd out about,
Sure.
I don't remember the name of this, but there's a induction heating jacket that looks pretty cool.
Hmm.
A fantastic pitch. I think you were there for it, of the earbud, or the like, not earbud, the earplug holders.
Oh, right. The earplug holders. Yeah, yeah. So what's fascinating about that is it's a real need in military and construction circles. And it's amazing to me people haven't solved these baseline needs for better hearing protection.
Hmm.
And I would put your work and their work in the same category of solving real human needs. I mean, there's all sorts of apps out there to reinvent fintech with crypto or do like a new AI thing. But like your work and the work of those people who are doing those earplug connectors and holders, those are solving real human problems. So it's
Yeah.
fantastic to see people use technology for good.
And speaking of hearing, one of the new features I'm excited about that we're still developing is being able, since we're starting directly at the teacher, getting the highest quality audio, being able to pipe it into anyone's headphones that would want it. So it's kind of like a self advocacy. Again, a lot of people, when they get like glasses or something, they're like, I didn't even realize it was this bad. Same thing with
Yeah.
hearing, same thing with a whole bunch of other stuff, right? So don't make yourself go to the doctor. Just be like, oh, I'm struggling to hear the teacher. I'm just going to listen in.
Right. So I can turn up the volume on the teacher, even if the teacher can't raise her voice or his voice.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's really helpful. So, is the name of your company also Transcribbit?
Name of the company is Alerty.
Okay,
We worked Alerty for a little bit, and then we were like, this really sounds like a home alarm system.
it's true. It does. It
And
does. Yeah.
we got a little bit of confusion. I feel like there's with any name until you're super big. Again, like no one knew that Google was pronounced Google until Google got
Yeah.
big, right? So there might be some pronunciation and stuff like that, but the goal is to get big enough that people have heard about it way before I even am talking.
Well, may Transcribbit be the next Google, and everybody knows how to say it. That's
There we
fantastic.
are.
Yeah. Well, this has been great to talk with you, Harry. Before we go, I'd love to hear, what do you dare to dream?
I dare to dream of a world where even if you have a different disability, you can still get all the support that you need without paying arm and leg. I dare to believe that inclusion and disability inclusion don't become words that people are afraid to say, and instead become words that people are proud of.
Wow, that's a fantastic vision. Thank you for sharing it with us, Harry.
Thank you so much for having me on, Ned.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrap. Thanks to our guests today for their insights into the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We wish you all the best in your startup journey. The Dare Show is brought to you by the Oregon Entrepreneurs Network and by Darwaf, the superpower tech team that can make your vision a reality. Visit us at oen.org or at darwaf.io. Thanks again for listening. Till next time.